Yeah! Hello and welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the Let's Try program here on the mighty Floating Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horner and I will be your navigator through today's project, which is probably going to go on for at least one or more episodes beyond this one, because we've done Gunpla before. Well, let's start right at the beginning here. What is Gunpla, you ask? Well, for those who are not absolute, oh god, what's the word? Not mavens, but devourers of Yoshiyuki Tomino's foundational 1979 series Gundam. Gunpla is plastic models. It's a portmanteau, a Japanese portmanteau of the words Gundam and plastic models. Plamo being the other portmanteau of plastic and models. So Gunpla. Dr. Hutch asks, has anyone ever mentioned that Ian doesn't pronounce solder correctly? Well, it's, oh god, that's right. I've been missing it. It's solder. It is correctly pronounced solder because there is an L in it. Right, so I've done Gunpla on the show before. We've done, I think, a few. We've done, God, I did that Gundam Mark II, or no, it was Cam that did the Gundam Mark II. I did some other terrible thing to the side there. We've done others. We've done models before, but this one is a bit different because this one I wanted to take in a bit more extended direction. So let's just get things right into the visually interesting portion here, which is to say, go to big iPhone mode. This is it. This is my hand. This is not a small box, as we've been talking about here. This is the MSN-004 Nightingale, which you could tell if I was in the right size. Let's see if I can drag my face cam group over here for just a quick hot moment. Yeah, this is a char suit from, now if you've been following Twitter and following things along. No, this is not the metal version, Wolfie. This is the recently released high-grade 1 to 144 scale versions, which is good because most of my other Gundams that I have are in that thing as well. Is it as big as an HGUC? You bet it is. The suit itself is pretty normally sized, but it's got some big, as you can see, big wings and pants on it that are going to make this a real beast to build. So, now people are asking, QB Storm Mage brings up the important point. Ooh, and I need to thank Y Dustin for a big subscription there, and turn on my notifications so that I know when other ones come up as well. Yeah, the big boy pants are on here. So yeah, this suit, if you are a fan of Gundam, you're probably wondering, why isn't building the Sazabi? Where's the Sazabi? And so on. Reason being is that I recently rewatched, well, I haven't rewatched Gundam Char's Counterattack, the film from which a different version of this suit comes from. Came out. It was recently re-shown in American theaters, and I think that's why I ended up looking it up. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to watch the film because Corey and I are currently making our way through the UC in a very slow manner, and I think that's coming up next. Unless I can find some way to deal with Gundam Double Zeta. No, that's going to be too difficult. So I ended up thinking to myself, well, you know what? Why not go through some of the other variations of this story? For those not in the know, Char's Counterattack is kind of was kind of the capstone on the Universal Century Gundam franchise. It was meant to be the end of the story of Char and Amuro and all your friends from the 1 Year War, and it was originally called a novel, or it was originally a novel called Mobile Suit Gundam. I want to get this right. High Streamer. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So High Streamer was slightly different from what got done in the real, or in the regular old Char's Counterattack. There's some people died differently, some people died not at all, and some people are not quite yet born, but also affect things. The point is that there was a second novelization done from High Streamer that wasn't also Char's Counterattack, that Tomino called Belchkora's Children. Belchkora being one of the characters from Gundam Zeta, who ended up in a relationship with Amuro, and they get pregnant in this one. So, point is, the mech suits are slightly different. Well, one of the mech suits is slightly different. One of the mech suits is extremely different. Amuro's suit, the new Gundam, becomes the High New Gundam, or is a reference to High Streamer. But Char gets a completely different suit from the Suzabi, and gets something more akin to. You can definitely see the Quebly influences in this with the funnel packs and the wings and the big back end. But the Suzabi definitely is a more conventional mobile suit without the hip parts, etc. But yeah, we're going to get into this. Now, as I said, I wanted to go a little bit farther with this build. And so, in addition to this kit itself, which we're going to work our way through, clipping out, assembling, etc. I'll probably be doing some work off camera in terms of I'm not going to give this a full paint job, but we are going to give it some coatings in terms of top coats, because on top of the model assembly, we're going to do a decal package. And this decal package is, God, is that three? I think it's 3 sheets of decals here right now that will go on this bad boy. So there's that. We've also included a kit of some metal etched parts. So these will get, some of them are going to get attached, some of them not so much, but I like those. And then to finish things off, I got in touch with Mr. Metal, and we're going to be replacing the nozzle, the plastic thruster nozzles with a metal set of nozzles as well, because, boy, I like really weird and obscure mobile suits, and I want to make something really cool out of this. Something worthy of keeping up on my shelf for a while. Oh, and I think this also includes yet further, yeah, there's some further photo-etched parts in there for purposes of blinging out this mobile suit. So, with that said, shall we crack into the box? Who, pray tell, is Mr. Metal, says Aerohydra. Yeah, it was just a, I did some searches on the internet, and this was the, I think this was the what I would consider to be the nicest metal kit. Going with gold thruster inserts in the center, just for something a little bit fancier. I think the gold goes really nicely with the red suit as well. And yeah, we'll get some metal fin funnel, or not fin funnel, regular funnel barrels out of that. King Wiggins asked, would you rank these mobile suits? Strike Freedom, Death Scythe Hell, New Gundam, Double Zeta, Suzabi, and Exteria. Okay. I haven't built all of these suits, but in terms of just utter chonky ridiculousness, I love the Double Zeta. The New Gundam is, people love those things. They're great. They're a great suit. They're classic for a reason. The Suzabi, I've heard, is good, but has some issues with the waist, says Jordan. And the Shtaria is one of my favorites. Again, I love basically all of the Ghibli derived suits. But about full armor versions? Oh, good God, yes. Give me a full armor Double Zeta. The Faz. Good Lord. I'm not sure I knew what I was getting into. Let's say this model squeaked a lot as I moved it around, and one other thing we should probably talk about while we take things out of here. Okay, stickers. We get to safely ignore these because we're going the decal route, or decal, depending on your location. Where was I going to go with that? Right, we should probably talk a little bit about the grades of Gundam, because people have mentioned and people have asked, as I brought this up, what grade of model is this? Well, Bandai, when they make their sets, they have a number of different grades. Usually you'll find it on the box. The HG stands for high grade. Universal Century, of course, for Universal Century mobile suits. There's high grades of other things as well. But we get the high grade. There's entry grades, which are actually really great these days. there are the next step up from the high grade is, I always get this mixed up if it's perfect grade and then real grade, or real grade and then perfect grade. Either way, the minute you get up to, you go from the high to the real/perfects, you are starting to get some really, thank you, there we go, Zafty. Real grade to perfect grade, which makes sense, perfect being perfection, real being real. Today's drink, by the way, is 33 Acres of Sunshine French Blanche, which is a French Blanche ale at 5.0%. And it's good. There are differences in sizes, though, too. Typically, you're going to see the high grades at a 1 to 144 scale. I've got the first one I ever built back when I was still living in Japan was not the master grade. Might have been the master grade then, I guess, actually. Yeah, the master grade GP03 Stamen from Gundam 0083, and I've recently pulled it out. I've actually taken it off the set at Loading Ready Run because I'd like to give that a go over and really up the quality on that. But the MGs are at 1 to 100. And oh yeah, it's Pat's mentioning right there the RE 100s. And ooh yeah, the full mechanics, which is different from old full mechanics. Boy, I'd love to get myself on one of those. Wait, maybe one day. Anyway, good God, this is big. This is the large, I guess, tail end. I'm afraid. Okay, so we have to distribute a bunch of these until I can find the manual, because that will help us out. Oh God, am I going to have to put together a filing system for run? How many runners are we at so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runners. 7 runners with more stickers. 8. I'm going to count these as an extra 2, 9, 10 in there. 11. 12. 13, 14 runners. Oh my lord. Friends, we're going to be at this particular project for a while. All right. This is said manual. I'm going to throw some of these into the sprues. Did I mean sprues when I said runners? Yes, I did. And I am correct in that. How many pages are we looking at here? This is okay, it's not all manual, but it is all, oh no, wait, it is manual. It is all manual. Just the middle. Curses. Oh, good. It comes with its own action stand. That is, nope. So one of the things you can do when you get into a little farther into Gunpla is you can place your models on an action stand to give it a dynamic pose like it's flying. I have never seen a set that says so the action bases are sold separately, but this was the fun one. Use 2 action bases sold separately. Arclight Dynamo asks, so here's a thought, Ian, have you ever had the urge to kit bash a Gunpla? And yes, I have. And in fact, Arclight, I have plans for that in the future. I'd either like to make a Kondo DOM, like one of those big, super thick DOMs, or there's a Kobayashi version of the double Zeta, which gets made by mixing the 1 to 100 Zeta and the 1 to 144 Zetas into a really chonky shouldered thing. F10 Theta, kit bash means taking kits and literally like model kits and bashing different kits together to make something new and something different, something not intended by the original model makers. And there's a lot of the the ships from the original Star Wars were kit bashed models just put together, and so you get to see a lot more creativity in those, because you have to keep the what you're building for in your head, because you don't have manuals to put it together. So there's something I'm looking at. The other thing though was that so in Japan during the New Year holiday season, a number of stores put together. Well, here in Canada, we have we've got our Boxing Day deals. In the United States, you have nothing because you don't enjoy fun. You've got Black Friday. That's when your deals can come out. But in Japan, their deals generally come around the New Year's time, and after or just before New Year and after Christmas, around that area, you get fukubukuros, which are lucky bags, and they're generally filled with a large amount of merchandise that the shop usually sells, usually unsold merchandise. And the idea behind it is that you're paying $50 or $100 and getting $200 or $400 worth of goods in it. And one of the shops that I wish I went to when I was living there, and only now know about, Yellow Submarine, which is a great little hobby shop, did a fukubukuro of Gunpla kits, which means more than just Gundam kits. There were some Gundams in there, but they also got a couple of Ingrams from Pat Labor, which were absolutely fantastic kits. But that said, I think it was it came to about $60 for that kit. You can check it out on Sora News 24. They did an article on it. But getting 14 different varied kits, not ones that I would normally choose, but just having a lot of parts available would be a fantastic way to put some kit bashing together. The other fun thing I want to do is keep some of these runners available and start using them to do greebling on other made-up sets. Anyway, here's our manual. We've got choking hazards. So no children under 3 will be admitted into the belt. Okay, Belchgora's children, in fact, are not allowed to come with us. Use modeling nippers to trim the excess runners from each part. We know what we're doing here. Do not use excess force. Handle together carefully. The runner symbols in the instruction manual indicate the runners divided with the dash lines. Okay. Oh. Apparently, some of these parts are going to be undergated, which is great, because that means that we'll get to cleaner parts. This is just all the layout. This is too much. Let's start with the beginning. A very nice place to start. And let's actually, let's increase the zoom level just a bit. Let's go back to the telephoto camera for now. CAK host says I did a MS-006 Zagu 2 kit, mostly finished, just need to do the weapons and hands for said weapons. When the instructor got me to the action-based thing, had a line that really confused me. For explanatory purposes, some images have been omitted. Oh, that's unpleasant. 30-minute missions line for kit bashing. Yeah, that seems like that could also be really useful, as well as the armored cores and whatnot. This is Balthazar Wiseman. Okay, we need to start with 2 sets of legs. We need to find K13 and K10. Oh boy. Hey, I found K! First time! All right. So I'll explain what undergating means for those who are not aware when we actually get to see some there. But it means because it was meant to connect to the hip. It didn't want to go NSF on a Gundam. I like it. Okay, K13, and we're gonna need, we're gonna need some new stuff today. Ooh, I think, yep, today is New Blade Day on the Ulfa, because I think I snapped off the tip of this blade while doing some experimentation with decal work. So I'll have to send that to the Phantom Zone and extract and new blade. Give blade. Give blade. Do not cut hands while giving blade. Good, we all got there. Safety occurred in the end. Frame arm girls are wildly more successful than frame arms ever were. Ooh, not sure if that's something I need to get myself into. No, my figures, I've decided I'll stick with my initial plan, which is only to purchase figures of people wearing uniforms. All right, and of course it's time to break out the old SPN 120s. K13. Where are you living? K and K. Both of these are Ks. Oh, it's this one. And that is a large friend there. Okay, so these are just side gated. That's fine. Let's go in there and trim these out. And then, because I'm doing it right this time, we're going to clean up the part after the fact. So let's just butter through these bits. K13, and let's grab the other one too. Ooh, tray systems. Pat, that's curious. Because this is this is something I'm going to have to pack up once we're done the show here today, because this is my kitchen table. Well, in kitchen, dining room, I guess. We're in the eat spot in my home, and we'll need to eat there later on today. Oh, didn't quite get that through. Have to go farther up. There we go. All right, so those are the 13s, and we need the K10 as well. K10 is also extremely large. Do not drop your god hands. That goes to all of you who may or may not have your hands of God. Oop, I incorrectly unnipped that because I could hear the tension go off. Right, so there's that. Let's send those over there and start to work on this other K10. Okay, do the top sides first. You, and then the bottom for least amount of stress. Although this is all under, so I guess I could really, I'm allowed to stress this out if I want. I mean, it says they just got a pair of god hands. Call me Eris, picked up a real good god hand nippers. Yeah, they, more than the specific brand, it's that style of anvil cutter, which is, again, for those not in the know about the god hands. Yeah, no, that's... Put it back. Put it back. Manual. No, automatic. There we go. I just want to... Ah, wait. Why am I doing that when I can do it this way? Aha. Give me a 3x zoom, computer. There we go. Yeah. This side of the... it's a little bit less easy to tell. But this side has a flat edge on it. It looks like it's knifed up, but this side is the side that's doing all the cutting. So you're essentially getting a nice, clean cut straight down through the sprue, rather than pinching and then pushing it out to the side. So yeah, other anvil cutters are available, but God Hands definitely got the market cornered on in terms of namespace recognition. All right. That said, do what you do to make the hobby go. God hands specifically are absolutely a one of those, if you have the means, I highly recommend it, but are absolutely not essential for enjoyment of the hobby. That said, I wish I'd known a little bit more about doing this sort of thing, how to a little bit more safely get nubs out. Back when I was doing the that initial Gundam of the GP-03. All right. Do not want to cut off the nub. The full nub is necessary. Just the little excess plastic, that can go straight to hell. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. I mean, we could definitely give that some love if that were going to be, if any of this were going to be exposed, which I highly doubt. Calmier says they got by on nail clippers for a decade plus and tried some $30 nippers and realized how much a difference it made in keeping the plastic clean. Oh, and Julia Mons made that nub mistake. Yeah. My condolences on that. I guess that I'm betting that's something you don't generally do more than once. All right, that's one. Let's see if we can get this one as well. All right, so there are going to be some stress marks, but not too bad. Ooh, and another side piece here. This is all going to be invisible, I'm absolutely certain. Okay, K13. And so this goes on here. Be careful, Ian, with your where you apply pressure. I've already given a stress mark right there. Eek. Okay, so I need to be careful in various ways. Goes through that, I think might end up being visible, that line there, and in fact, I'm pretty sure that might even be covered over by a piece of the photo etch that we'll have later. All right. Duani, that's glad to hear. This is a beautiful kit because I've been very excited to get into this. We need the M runners now, which I'm assuming are also going to be black. God, this goes up to M? Yay. This is M2. Okay, M2. Great. And we'll need M1 as well. Yep. M1 and M2 are separate runners. Ah. There we are. They're the gray stuff. Ah. Are there scalpers for Gunpla, says Captain Talon? There absolutely are Gundam scalpers who will buy up models. Worse than Gundam scalpers, though, are just straight up pirates of models. And it's unfortunate that these things need to occur because sometimes model kits go out of... Yeah, the recasts are quite down. Oh, puts it right there. And they are... So it can be different unless you are buying directly from a local hobby shop, which you should do just to support your local hobby shop. There, you got to be careful for recasts. People who literally will buy up kits and then make casts of these parts and then just injection mold their own versions. They're usually much, much less good quality because that sort of technology, injection molding, is not easy to do, and Bandai's definitely got a lot of money in R&D there. M211 and M111. Okay, M211. And we're still doing 2 times this, right? Yes. Oh. Okay. So this, I was wondering when this was going to come up. These are areas of fabric in the design, and this might be something I end up seeing if I can either cover over with actual fabric or replacing outright. And Pat Bayer points out that yes, the tiger is out, by which I mean you can go to Target and get Gunpla there, which is fantastic. Wow, call me Iris. I had no idea that the High New Gundam was getting scalped that badly. I only recently found out that one of the entry grade kits that they're putting out this year is a new version of the entry grade version of the new Gundam, but it doesn't come with any of the fin funnels, which you have to get from the high grade kit, which is absolutely ridiculous, because why would you want a new Gundam if it didn't have the fin funnels? That's the whole point. Ross Island Prime asks, is there a community of 3D printed aftermarket model kits? Not so much. The work that goes into 3D printing just isn't wasn't high enough definition to really work compatibly with the model kits. But that said, with the rise of resin printers, that may have changed quite a bit. I'm not deep in the community just yet. Isn't the EG based on the big statue that's also missing the funnels? Shadhawk asks, it may in fact be. That said, that does have the special, what do they call that? Fin funnel bazooka. It's great. Yeah, Square.Cube says 3D printing has the issue of needing to sand everything down. Actually, hold on a second on that, and I'll be right back. Still here in your ears because I have, I have this microphone here. All right, just grabbing something that I wasn't sure I was going to show you, but now I am anyway. The reason we're working on the Nightingale right now instead of what I'm about to show you is due to BC's current issues with weather, which is making it difficult, let's say, to sand and get any priming done in painting. So I remember I said earlier that I was experimenting more with 3D printing now that I'd dialed it in, I guess. And this is something I put together just after I'd finished work on the Desert Bus buttons. And it is a Hammerhead Corvette, sized for X-Wing. But you can see the difference in how much, how low the resolution is, and how much this is going to need sanding and priming to, in order to look smooth. Like this, everything here should be smooth, and this is not, because it just can't be. But once we get enough primer on it and some high build primer and some sanding, it'll start to look, smoother, but it's still going to look a bit chunkier compared to something that was cast molded. That's it. I'm really looking forward to getting some primer on that. And actually, the reason I'm showing this to you now, is the plan is to actually do the painting for that on stream, because I am very excited to try out doing some more painting. Okay, let's get back to work here. We need to clean up some clean some nubs off. So let's place nub. And there's 2 more here. There we go. And finally, oh, that's good and clean. Like that. Like that. Oh, Pat Bear. And also Duani. Yeah, no. I wish I loved the Xeon more than I do. Because that seems like that would be a fun model build, but I kind of think it looks a bit ridiculous, but that's part of the appeal, I'm sure. Yeah, I am not as much of a fan of a lot of the One-Year War First Gundam suits as much as I like. Voslan asks, so Ian, how do you feel about the homegrown Canadian mecha heavy gear? Also, do you like Battletech? Love the heavy gear. I was, back before pandemic occurred, I was hoping that there was maybe some way I could convince the higher-ups, loading ready run, that it might be a good idea for us to, send a contingent of people out to get trained up on mech piloting. But we'll see what happens then. Pat says that they ran a poll and their audience chose the Xeon. That's nothing wrong with that. They are, after all, the ones that are going to have to end up watching you build it, so might as well let them get something they like. All right. Oh, we need 12 and 12, which is this thing in the center here. And it says a lot of origin redesigns really help the MSG suits. Also, the various pre-Zeta side stories have a lot of good ones, like the Gelgru Marine. Oh yeah, no, I'm currently running through listening to the Gundam podcast, GundamPodcast.com, I think, listening to their Zeta run, and they're talking about the MSV mobile suit variations right now. Boy, lots of stuff I have to. For those of you not aware. Gundam was the television series, came out in 1979, and it's almost canceled, but got through in the end thanks to a lot of support. You can actually thank Gundam for kind of really defining the modern otaku movement. But in between the original Gundam, which originally had its model kits made by a little company called Clover, which you may not be aware of because they are not the concern that they once were. They eventually moved over to Bandai for their toy sponsorship. And during the interregnum between original First Gundam and Zeta, they decided we need to make more money. So they had the mechanical designer put together this little thing that they called Mobile Suit Variations, which was sort of a magazine-y thing and a series of kits that were variations on the various mech from First Gundam. And you get some really cool stuff coming out of there, some interesting variations. But then you get to see some of them show up in Zeta and get a little bit more fleshed out. But yeah, the history of the mobile suit variations is interesting. Alrighty. 10th Tech Priest says, speaking of slightly goofy designs, I'm really hyped for the new MG Dom and Rick Dom coming this year. Yes, sir. Ian loves his Doms, because those are the chonkiest, most ridiculous suits that I love from First Gundam. That said, not going to say no to the Richard DS and the weekly top 40. Dots towards front, we have a 10 and a 12. or 10 and 11 and a 12. 12 goes in there. And okay, this is where the building gets interesting. So technically we need to put the round to the top and opening at the top like thusly. And then with the face forward, we gotta slide that in there and then slide this through that large hole. And I think we got a hit record, just about. Yeah, this is absolutely a leg. Okay. Here we go. The whole point of Unicorn was basically to cross-promote new kits from the Zeta, Double Zeta, and Char's Counterattack era that previously had no modern engineering kits. That makes sense. I'll take it too, because we got some really cool kits out of that, out of Unicorn Gundam. That reminds me, I need to track down a base jabber from Gundam Unicorn, because I need to, speaking of kit bashing, I need to kit bash one of those into a Star Wars gas freighter, if I'm ever going to actually ever end up running that Heroes of the Artillery Cluster game that I so dearly want to do at some point. Oh yeah, Hathaway's got some interesting designs, doesn't he? I honestly look forward to when they turn, what's the age in here? Actually, I should probably make sure to pick one up when they're available. Oh, good. Penelope is old enough for me to get her a Penelope Gundam kit. What kind of cutting mat is this? It's American Crafts. Transpunto. It was a cheap mat that I got from a local winner's shop. I don't have a problem with Unicorn's story, Voslin. I actually quite like it, and the music. I mean, Hiroyuki Sawano, just put him in every Gundam right now. Yeah, absolutely, Hathaway's Flash has a better story, but we didn't really expect Hathaway's Flash to ever get an adaptation in animation, so I'm just happy that we get it. But yeah, a lot of people don't like the magic space magic new type. New type space magic. That's it. But I mean, they kind of really just put it all away right after Unicorn anyway. Like, let's seal everything. What I didn't like, and what I'm glad that the entire community has just kind of decided doesn't exist, was, oh god, and I can't remember the name of it, and that makes me happy. Oh god, what was that bad Gundam? NT. That was it. Gundam NT. Gundam NT needs to just get into a box, go underground, and never come back. K. We need K, 12, 9, and 11. And I think we only do one of these this time. Yes, we only do one this time. Okay, where's my K's at? We might as well get the stickers out of here so we can set them aside. Not that, again, hopefully we won't need to use them, but they're available. Hold on to these bags for a bit. The issue I have is that Tomino can be such a good post-human story, Botom's being the prime evidence of that. They didn't go to Tomino and it shows. Yeah, no, that's Voslin. I will absolutely cop to that. That said, give Tomino a break. The man's old and he hates Gundam. That said, boy, I am finishing up Zabungle right now. And let me tell you, I'm not loving Zabungle as much as I did the Ideon. But then again, I haven't gotten to the end of Zabungle, and I'm sure it is going to once again continue to wreck me in a way that is unfair. Okay, 11, 12, and 9. 9, perfect. Let's get them out. Get them out, get them out. Get him out, get him. Is Char your all-time favorite pilot? The King Wiggins. No. I wouldn't call Char my favorite pilot. I think that would actually... I would have to go to Quattro. No, I'm a huge Camille apologist. Love me. You want to find out where new type space magic comes from? Start watching Zeta. And God, the TV ending version of spoilers for Gundam Zeta is the TV ending of that is just, it wrecks me each time. I thought that was the case, that Tomino had nothing to do with Votoms. Thank you, Nigoki. Yeah, he did, he was Dai-Turn 3. The Dai-Turn 3 with the tiny kids in the moon, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure it will come to me. And then into, I believe... Oh, was it first Gundam, then Ideon, then Zabungle, and then from there. I tend to just really like Tomino's work in general. I should find out what episodes he did work on Astro Boy for and look those up. Because, yeah, fun fact, the guy who made Gundam worked on Astro Boy. Desperately want an original series retelling in the art style of Mobile Suit Gundam Origins. Well, Duani, you know what? I have a feeling that Bandai... Actually, you know what? I don't know that we're ever going to get that. I think Bandai, the company, desperately wants to because they know exactly how much money they would make off of it. And I don't think that... I'm pretty sure that Tomino doesn't want it. And I don't know if the fans want it either. I still think First Gundam is good and stands on its own without any need for a remake. Where was I going with that, though? Random trivia. See, that's my thoughts exactly, but in the opposite direction. Anytime anyone talks about the Zeta shift on Desert Bus, my mind instantly goes to Neil Sedaka, or the Neil Sedaka sounding Zeta Tokyo Koite, I believe. The theme song of the original theme song of Zeta, which you won't be able to hear if you stream Gundam Zeta in a legal manner, because Neil Sedaka is a big poopy head, and he won't let them have the original theme song, which is much better. International copyright laws are bad for everyone. Okay, and then this goes in this way. Okay, good. So I'm pretty sure that these lines here, these pods are going to be covered over with some of our photo etching, which means I can probably leave that as is without any further cleanup on those. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Yes, so yes, almost broke Battletech, says Bosslin. That's a story for another day when I'm doing a model build from a different series. And yes, eventually I hope to be doing a Macross. A super-dimensional fortress, one might say. Hey, we finally get some undergating. Okay, let's do this. We need G14. Assume that this will still be red. Aha! We have found G. Ah, come on. Wait, Ramba Ral figure shown off today. Call me Aris, please tell me he's wearing his civilian outfit from Gundam Build Fighters. Just the sweater. Okay. What do we got here? We need G14 and G15. Okay. Aha! So you can see, well, let me see here. Can we zoom in? Yes, we can. All right, so you see these, so we know that this is the gate. This whole thing, the runner, the sprues, and the gates are what allow the plastic to flow off the sprue and into the part area. There's evidence there. What makes this one different from the other ones, and what makes it undergated, is that if you tip things, you'll see that the sprue actually attaches to the part on the bottom of the part, which means that you can get a clean cut much easier than you could with a piece that attaches to the side, like say, well, it's like this part here. You can see it just the rockets attached, the nozzles attached directly to the edge of the sprue, and when we clip that, there's more likely going to be a mark on the edge of the part, whereas in the undergating, that cut mark or those stress marks are going to happen on the underside, which will hopefully be hidden. There we go. Oh, hey, there's the Rambo Ral link. I'm gonna have a look at that right now. Oh, that's actually really good. God, talk about power couples. Ramba and Haman. Love those two. Right. G14, G15. 14 and 15, right down here. Oh, okay. So I'm going to clip these out. Yep. Don't want to be too quick with the nippers because I don't want to damage the blade. I should probably not be doing this by holding it up as well, because otherwise I'm putting strain on the gate, which means it's going to try popping and twisting these parts. And that'll make things look bad, and I don't want that. All right. So let's have a look here. So this one, undergate, side gate. So let's start with the side gate. And just give it the lightest. Goodbye. We're gonna have to run the robot. The Roomba robot. Roomba. Why didn't I name my Roomba Ral? Now I'm extremely upset with myself. This is no Roomba, boy. No Roomba. Okay, and we want to try and get those flat as we can. And look at that. Would you just look at that? Nice and clean and no caffeine and horribly out of focus. Perfect. Yeah, you know what? There might be some renaming of the of the Roomba going on after we're done here. I do like the name Janus, but let's be honest, Roomba Ral's really good. Okay, there's that piece. Let's get this piece out here as well. Once again, oh, is that? That's a bottom gate. Good bottom gate. Oh God, how do you get you nippers? Okay, and then now can we get it across? Just barely. I'm gonna come from the side. No, gonna come from this side. Make sure it's good and flat. And then realize it's not actually a bottom gated piece at all. Right. Just going to use the blade on that just a bit here to smooth that down just a bit. There we go. Cut the top off. There we go. Now we have the what's going to be a clean panel line in there. Much cleaner than I had it before. Good, good. Because when it comes time to panel line this thing, I want that to look very nice. All right. Side, side, top, top, and then check for nub marks. There we go. Very careful. Perfect. Okay, parts are out, and I think now seems like a good time for us to take our first break, because wow, that took 4 minutes longer than I thought it did. Folks, don't go away. We're going to be back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder Fry, and more building of this ridiculously large set very slowly in just a few minutes. Don't go all the way away. Folks, welcome back to Tinker, Tailor, Solder Fry here in the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horner, and we are building the MSN-042 Nightingale HGUC Gunpla model. And here's some pieces that I cut out earlier. We're about to attach these on here and keep on moving as we go through. I wanted to address some talking about premium Bandai in the chat there too as being a real problem for anyone who's not in the U.S. and Japan, and I completely agree. I would like to have a few more things available a little bit more regularly on the shelves. But that said, yeah, I do like being able to have some models of things that are just never, like the Wound Wart and the Hazel Gundam were just, it was never going to happen. And now it's never going to happen for me because I missed my window of opportunity in ordering because I didn't want to pay the price to order from Bandai. I've had models sent to contacts in the States and then just sit there for months because that's the only, well, not only is it the only affordable shipping, it's the only shipping. This goes here. Oh, and this comes out the back. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so here we go. Here's where we can see some of the issues with the gating. See a little nubs there, and there. That is something I think I'm just going to have to eventually come back and scribe out with a knife. But for the moment, it doesn't look too bad. Try and fingernail that down a bit. Yep. Yeah, we'll come. No, you know what? Let's do that now while we've got it here. Go. It's one area cleaned up. to come in there with something else, I think, later on. Or I could just disassemble it. You didn't miss your chance. You were an unsatisfied customer thanks to an orchestrated scarcity policies tailored to make you feel like you lost something, pushing to spend more in the future. Yep, nope. I will 100% cop to that. That is absolutely what's being done. And you know what? In the future, that might be something I can look into. But yeah, it's... I mean, there's a reason I stopped collecting Mondo posters. First of all, because it's an expensive hobby. Second of all, I didn't want to keep trying to grab them and fighting the scalpers. And most of all, I just stopped watching. I just stopped paying attention to what new things were coming out, and I pretended like they never existed. All right. That's a leg. Oh God, that's a leg. That's not even a foot. Oh my. Okay, I'm looking forward to the rest of that. Where's my thing here? Oh, right, we're not done with this leg yet before we come back and build it again. G18. Let's get a G18 piece. See if we can find that. Oh, Nikoki, I had not seen the new kit from Macross now that we've got that resolution. I'm gonna have to keep these in the back pocket. Good lord, that's a beautiful Regalt. Oh, okay. Yeah, so many. There's a lot of good model makers out there. It's not all about the Gundam. That said, I love the Gundam. It's G. Is there a second G? Oh, no. We're still working on this one. G18. And down there. And that's the only part we need from this particular one. This is also undergated. So let's clip our gates out from underneath. Undergated there as well. Oop, goodbye. And you, my friend, are similarly undergated. All right. Looks good from the corner. Oop, that one's got a bit of a mark to it. Not a mark, but a little bit of nub left over. So we'll see if we can't just slice that off just ever so slightly. And then a rubby with the thumb to get that down. And gorgeous. Gorge-esque, I think is what I'm going to call that. And that goes on here like that. Very nice. Very nice. Good motion, too. Good motion. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember who it is that makes the other model kit I've got my eye on down at BC Shaver Hobbies, which is a reproduction of the HAL 9000 terminal. Because that I want to really also spruce up a bit as well with some metal parts, and maybe, if I can find it, a proper lens. G17 is, wait, 1, 2, right leg, okay, good, and then we move on to the left leg after. G17. Let's not hold that up in the air, let's just do our clips here, down on the ground, with the appropriate amount of support. Okay, there's the thing that I'm supposed to not cut in the G17, and I think it's the nubbins on the edges here. So we just go up to the edge, snip there, Go up to the edge and snip there. Come right out. Palmeiras asking, not a model kit. Have you seen the new Shinkelian Eva 01, the transforming high-speed train robot? I have not. Is there a new one? Because I need to actually just watch Shinkelian, I think. After seeing, what was it, Tom Asnable reposted their side-by-side recreations of some classic Christmas commercials for JR during the holiday, and it makes me realize, yeah, that Shinkelian was probably something special, and I should give it more due. It has the Lance of Longinus. You know what? Yeah, F it, we're in. If it's going to be that much of a ridiculous send up, I'm in for it. Okay, that just goes on here. I mean, it's probably like that, but probably not like that. God, I'm always worried about every possible... Okay, so it does go up that high. Good. I'm worried about cracking any plastic here. God, that's a good foot. Good foot. Oh, okay, no, I am supposed to be doing this for both of the legs, so I guess I need to find another G. Oh my god. Okay, this is a bigger model than I thought it was. So I was opening up these bags, thinking to myself, oh, this is no problem. You just got a one of these runners, and there'll be a smaller other red model. And it just occurred to me that this piece is not for the tail what I once thought it was. This is the shoulder binder. This is exciting. Okay. Which means we need to get a G14 and 15, because that's where we were at. Okay, let's... Again, Ian, remember your gating. And remember not to slice up in the air while flexing the entire goddamn thing. You want to avoid putting as much undue strain on these parts as possible. And then just, like throw the runners around everywhere. Yeah, it's still 144. Now, and the thing is, it's not, we're talking about, oh, Nightingale is huge, lol. And it's actually not that big, in my opinion. It's not mobile armor class, that's for sure. And the actual body is not that different from, I'm just going to leave this one to scribe later. The actual body itself is not that much different in size from your standard mobile suit. There we go. In theory, would a hit blade that melts the plastic rather than cutting be better? Oh, hot blade. Interesting question. Next question. No, I don't know. I don't think it would. I feel like a hot blade is one of those things, actually, and I can tell you right away, no, I would absolutely not want a hot blade, because a hot blade's going to get you in so much more trouble so quickly. With this, the nice thing is that I can, so for these under pieces, I can line up that, I can put the blade on the piece without having to worry about melting it. If this is a hot blade, there'd be no doing this. you'd have to hover hand and then clip, or I suppose slide. Fumes I wouldn't be too worried about. There's not a lot of plastic that's going on here. Don't want to tear anything. Okay. And let's... Actually, I'm going to try the a different grip that I've been told to try. I don't know if I like it. You know what? I think I might like this grip. If only because it lets me see what I'm doing better. There we go. So it does mean that I'm probably at some point in the future going to cut the heck out of my thumb, but hey, this is the hands were given. Good. Okay, that's both of those pieces. Let's get them on the thing. I still need to do my K pieces, which means I need to find the other K with the proper mark. Let's just K. We're gonna need, what is it? 9, 11, 12. Okay, so that's not on this one. Must be on this one then. Looking at 9, yeah. $11 and $12. Perfect. Okay, we're good. We're good. Right, there we go. Oh yes, I would absolutely not recommend that grip to anyone who is who doesn't like it. I would recommend trying it, but know the dangers. Some people are saying that grip is how you learn a better grip. Well, this is a show about learning, so we'll probably learn something. High pressure hair thin water stream. Yes, that's what I want. Water jet all the things out. Yeah, it's one of those things where I understand that everyone who uses that grip does eventually at some point cut a thumb or finger, but it also adds, for me, I feel like I've got more control that way, which is what I want more than anything else right now is I've got to keep control. I remember cut my thumb up, treating those wounds well. And then the darkness would hit me and the voice would be calling. Let's cut our thumbs up again. Yes, you are correct, random trivia. Ever forward learning out of spite is what we're going with now, because we do learn. We just don't always learn for the right reasons, or we don't learn because we want to. Sometimes we just have to. We just have to know. Yeah, the other thing I like to think about this particular thing is that you're trying to pull the knife towards you rather than pushing the thing against it. I think helps me. I don't know. We'll find out. We're gonna find out together. You're all here for the ride, right? Right. Got a secondary piece caught in the on the nipper while trying to trim another one. Another one. God damn it, DJ Khaled. Why do you even gotta? Why do you even gotta Khaled? There we go. That's a nice one. Smooth-ish. Smooth-esque. Yeah. All right. Putting things together. So we need to put the... Right, this is where it gets fun because we need to make sure that we're building opposite legs. So let's stick that in there. And the other one. Okay, that's one down. And then we're going to put that going in that direction, like that. Good, good. So we've got matching marks on our front pieces for the knees. I'm absolutely certain these little pieces are going to get a photo etch part attached to them. Sarah Marco says, I own 3 model kits and have never assembled a model. That's fine. That's fine. I've got backlogged projects for days. Everyone has too little time. Right, so we had our G13 and 14 parts ready to go. So let's get those in there. So that one goes on first because this one, it's really cool. So we got these holes here to hold things in place, and these holes, or these little pins, go through those holes. This cap here matches up with just this little, I want to say, brim on the inside there. So that's all beautiful connection. And then these tiny little pins go into the holes in the middle of those. And again, we get a little cutout with the brim. And oh, do love a good thing coming together. And yet we're absolutely going to have to get ourselves a scribing stick and knock that out there. And knock those 2 points out on there. But that is for later. Mac Mini Guru says several stitches convince me to buy a vise and always use proper wood holding for woodworking. Yeah, that seems like a good path towards a preferred group style. G18 from the second G18 sets. Let's get these on screen. Let's enjoy the pre-made part. You can enjoy them too, not just me. G18. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and ka-chunk. One of those always pops right off in a way that I'm not prepared for. All right, let's get these nubbins off. Boop. And then secondary boop. Yes, good booping. Can we just go straight boop? Straight booped. Nice. Third time's the charm. Oh, that's boo. Boo. It's not ruined, but we did have a little bit of just a wee bit of extra. And that's what we want. Rub it down with the fingernail a bit. And let us attach to, oops, that direction. All right. Happy with that. Never occurred to me that you could do that with a scriber. Gunpla never occurred to me until just this moment as well, and it wouldn't have occurred to me had I not been looking at people doing some rescribing just a couple days ago. Like, huh, and this is just a tool that's used for removing plastic. And what do I need to do but remove just a little bit of plastic? Colmiaris, I don't know if the thimble's necessary. Like I'm not actually putting that much pressure on the kit. Like if I am putting enough pressure on the blade that I might accidentally send it flying into my hand, then I'm using too much pressure. I just want to be shaving small bits of plastic off until it's smooth and in the right place. The thimble's probably not a bad idea as a prophylactic for future possible injury, but I'm not convinced it's necessary. G17, we need one more piece before we can get to doubling up on these again. G17 is this one. Haha. Yeah, that's Gunpla and Connery make a very good point that sharp blades are safe blades or safer blades, and that that I need to be a lot less precious with fresh blade time. Like fresh blade time should just effectively be any time I'm setting down to do some amount of work. Ooh, nanoglass. Yep, there we go. And then this side too. Good. Oh, nanoglass. Spine, I had not gotten a chance to look at nanoglass files yet. Let me just put up a reminder for that. Files. And we'll look into that after the show. I mean, we've got the... Where was it? Aha! We got our good old friend, the emery board here, which we can use if we need to. But, Ian... Vazon asks, so Ian, have you ever used your God hand on non-Gunpla plastic like GW or Warlord Games hard plastics? I have not used it on a Games Workshop thing. I have used it on a Wave model kit, and that was back when I did my my Gundam Colony kit, and it worked out just fine for there, except for the polystyrene, I think it was, or whatever the clear plastic was. I was definitely keeping my nippers away from that. Nanoglass files are fantastic. Oh, are those just like a glass brush too? Because I think I've run into those for other purposes, and I do need to just get my hands on one specifically for soldering. Actually, is what I understand they're good for. You just get in there and you can really rough up some areas to accept solder and flux a little bit easier. So Vaslin, if the army painter, and I know army painter is pretty well regarded in the community, but if it's an anvil type cutter, that's what you want out of your cutter is specifically something that's going to use a single blade rather than pinching. Doesn't need to be God hand brand, but that's something that I would suggest is worth looking into. Okay. We finally have two legs that now we can now spread out, and we need to do the right leg. So that is this leg. First, we're going to need C3, which I'm assuming is going to be a big red part. That's B. unhelpful. No, I have a feeling it's gonna be one of these, isn't it? C. Already opened that bag, apparently. Okay, so Gunpla has some actual experience with Army Painter snips and God Hands, so I would take their advice on that. But that said, you don't need to go all the way up to the SPN 120s if you don't want to. If you're not interested in spending $70 US on a set of nippers, you don't have to. I'm not going to make you. Did I cut the wrong one? No. Oh, yes, I did. C3 is this one. No springs. All right, everything's undergated. Oh, wow. This one's going to be a fun one here. Specifically this guy. What do I think? No, they are not sharper. I think they might, the top cutting blade may be thinner, but I think that's about it. But yeah, it's the type of cutter that matters more than anything else, because that's what's going to help you out with avoiding stress marks and tear outs. Tear outs are the ones that you want that are just going to ruin your mind. Going to look at those cutters there for you, Dark Perfect. Cutter, Zero Professional Sprue Cutter. Third picture. Okay, so those are not the type of cutters that I would recommend, because those again are you're getting two blades coming together, and that's going to pinch the metal and push it apart, or not the metal, but pinch the plastic. So that would be. That said, for cleaning up 3D printer parts, they'll probably be fine. Actually, that's a question, Dark Marford. Are you looking at resin printing, or are you looking at FDA, or the deposited? Because I think if you're going with the type that is for resin printing, you might be able to get away with those, because that you're just clipping hard resin off the bottom. But for PLA printing, you're probably fine with those too. TBH. Oh yeah, filament Ender 3. Right. You mentioned that earlier. It'll be fine. I use my dollar store nippers when I'm cleaning up my 3D prints to start with. So yeah, those ones will absolutely be fine. Your real cleanup is going to occur when you get to the sanding and whatever stage there. There's many ways to finish 3D prints, and none of them are easy. None of them are easy, and few of them are good, I think is the way I'd put it. But for certain things, you can get a decent result. Like things like the Desert Bus button, which was that Bene Gesserit pain box. That worked out well, I thought, as a PLA. FDM is the technology I'm thinking of. That works well in an FDM situation, because you're already looking at something that's not smooth, or isn't going to have a lot of detail to it. Yeah, something that looks old. All right, I think that part is cleaned up nice enough. Yeah, I kind of want. I'm curious to try out ABS or PetG myself, Dark Morphord at some point, but right now I'm actually happy with where I am at with PLA. Having managed to create a horse skull and a button, pretty happy with that. J1 is where we're going to next, which I think is in here. Yep. All right. So these are some of the parts that are going to become replaced with metallics in future. And so I'll get it out and I'll show it off, and then we can talk about what's going to go on here. So J1, we're going to get J5, which is right there. So let's quickly get that out. True Dine, got me one of those KMFDM. Yeah, there's a band name I'm not gonna forget for a while. Thank you, Cameron. All right. For those of you who would like an explanation for that joke, check out recent streams and clips here at loadingreadyrun.com. See something you like? Clip it. That's the ticket. Highlight. That's not right. Let's just clip these out here. There's 1, 2. Clean, and the top end. Okay. So this is something we're not going to do today because we're not prepared for it. Just to say, I actually don't even have the necessary tools in hand. But I have a feeling that these are... Yep. So these are some of the thrusters we're going to have to deal with. And we're looking at 9mm thrusters. And we need to cut off the plastic thruster, and then, and here's the part we're not prepared for, drill 2mm hole to fit. So I think we'll come back and apply the metal parts in on another day. But thankfully those just, that just pushes in there easily. So those will be very easy to remove and replace. One says before realizing that, whew, it does come out. Okay, good. Oh no. Okay, right leg, this leg. And then we need C2. Ooh, excuse me. C2, what's from here? Sorry, tried to hold the sneeze in there. Yes, call me Aries. Drill. This is a snap-in kit. However, as we said, the Mr. Metal add-on kit, which is a third-party creation, will require drilling for adding those particular thruster modules. 5, 5. Here we go. And we already got one out of there, so it's a little bit easier to clip that one out. Okay. I need to check mostly I need to check my drill bits to see if I've got what I need, and if I don't, make a trip down to BC Hobby and Shaver. Get me some drill kits. Excuse me one moment. That sneeze has left me a little bit watery. All right, we're back. Here we go. Oh. got the spot for thrusters, but it doesn't doesn't add them. Maybe we add them later? Maybe we'll find out later. Just hold your horses, Ian. Everything will be fine. Okay, and then we're just gonna have to shave that down with just a wee bit of knife. Oh, that's a good knife time. But remember, if you've got time to fife, you've got time to knife. That is, and will always be, one of my favorite Paul lines. Not just because of the line, but because of the way that he starts tying a knot in that rope right after he finishes speaking. It's just a way of eating time through the credits. It's beautiful. Gundam Pixie stream when? Awesome. That's a ooh. I sure would like to do a Gundam Pixie. Okay. So this goes through here, I think. Oh god, there's so many connection points. I think I need to pull the thigh back a bit. And aha, okay. Yep, it's a lot easier to tell once you're on the bottom. And you can see that these parts connect together nicely. Have I ever built mini-plas or SMPs? Yeah, I think someone sent me a, at least if that technically counts as a mini-pla, the GP-03 Dendrobium as a Gundam, whatchamahoozems. The SD Gundam, that's right, super deformed Gundams. This is not fitting together the way I'd expected it to. Did I clip out the wrong piece? Do these pieces come together? They do not. I may have clipped out the wrong piece. Yes, I wanted 2, not 3. Well, we need to get there anyway for round 2 of footening. Carve a stone Gundam. There is a stone Gundam statue in Japan. I don't remember offhand where it is, but it's really good. I think it's in Shinagawa. But it's probably my favorite Gundam statue, which is in, well, you know what? There's also the Chinese Gundam Zeta, which looks terrible, and I love it because it's terrible. Need just a bit of knife there. Come on. There we go. And then here, this one, which is always causing problems for me. Have to give it just the slightest of shaves. Okay, and then rub it with the fingernail to make the stress lines go away. Mostly, that seems good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, good. That goes, and there's no space for thrusters on that side, which means that we have finally been able to put together our right, well, we got the booty for the foot put together. That's booty, not booty, for those keeping score at home. There she goes. Oh, that's a nice fit. Look at that. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Okay, there's one. And now we need the other one here. Oh my goodness, and we're just about done with the sprue. It's always an exciting time in a young man's life. Hup. And then do it that way. It's out. Cleanup begins. Oh, that's very close to being perfect. Just gonna shave that down. Go. I might actually go to a fresh blade starting next episode, TBH. The feet are only 25% jet engine. What's the rest for? I would say ankle. Like when you consider how much stress is put in the bipedal ankle, it's amazing that we're able to walk upright at all. All right. And then we need a J5 from the other J5. It's J1, 5. So then the other one is... I hadn't done this all right. Okay, J2, 5. We're skipping all over the place, folks. We're now here, but we'll be back up to here in a second. J, are you, no, you're K. Aha, J2. Get this out of here. Actually, you know what? Before we even jump into that, now seems like a perfect time for us to take our second break of the night, because we're going to continue on with this Nightingale build. We're not going to get done today, but we're going to make progress. We may have 2 entire feet by the end of the stream. Folks, get up, stretch your legs, swap your fluids, and do what you need to do on a break, because we're doing the same. We'll be back with more Gunpla building in just a sec. Don't go all the way away. Oi, we're back with more Loading Ready Runs. Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, featuring me, Ian, and this, the HG. Oh, not the HD. Yes, it is the HD. The HDUC MSN-042 Nightingale Mobile Suit Gundam plastic model. And we are currently in step... Oh god, we've completely gone off the rails here. We're in step 3-2, but we still need to go back to 2-3 after we're done this. Look, we're gonna get some booties on with some jets, and then we're gonna go back and do some more work with the feet. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. All right. A lot of good fluid discussion here in the chat while I was away. I hope everyone is well fluided now that we're back. Yeah, there's an interesting technique to using the God Hands in a effective manner. Because what you want to do is you want to hold the bottom edge, that anvil edge, steady. You're kind of holding it there, and you want to hold it tight against the whatever it is that's going to be cut into. and then slowly bring the, to bring the top guillotine down like that. Anyway, don't always practice what I preach, but I try to pay attention. Especially when I'm working on something that I want to be good. You ever get that feeling that there are projects that you just want to finish? It doesn't matter how good it's going to look, how good it's going to be. It just needs to be. And this is not one of those projects. This one is one of the ones where I am absolutely this matters to me. Oh yes, look at them bendy boys. Put it together, and what do you get? That's almost a foot. Okay, let's go back to the clear off our instructions, and let's go back to K25, K8, and K18. Where are my K's at? K. Starting with K8. 4, 5, 6, 8. Let's get that in there. Oop. And then oop, right there. One more there. And that gets that out. And then 25 and 18. 18 is God, that's a large piece. And then 25. Look, if there's one thing that the Republic of Xeon wanted more than anything else, it's that when the fossil record was examined and the 1 Year War was debated by future historians, they wanted to make sure that the footprints of their mobile suits, more than anything else, were clear for the future. Nigoki says, the fun can entirely be in the build process. After that, it's just going to gather dust. I mean, yes, but also it's going to be... I have become much more mercenary about the things that live on my shelves. And this is definitely going to be a thing that lives on my shelf. I have a specific shelf for mechanical models, and I should not. I actually, what I need to do is I need to set myself a restriction before I get too much farther into my into this hobby. So that was. I'm not sure if I've told this story before, but when I first moved to Japan, I got my first figures, my first Japanese figures, from a hard-off in Nagoya, where I was staying for training at the time. And that was where I picked up that first package of, not Tetsudo Musume, that was the, Girls of the All Nippon Airways Uniform Collection 1. Beautiful. They're all, it was basically all the stewardess uniforms from the history of All Nippon Airways. And it was at that time I said to myself, Ian, you may only collect figures of actually uniformed, of actual uniforms. You know, figurized representations of actual things. And I think whatever god of used products heard me, and at that point got in touch with Tomy to start producing the Tetsudo Musume and Girls of the Japanese Self-Defense Force figure lines, which then lasted the entirety of my stay in Japan and more after that, to the point where I was importing figure sets from a preferred used shop in Akihabara that I'd found via eBay. So, yeah, even if you do set yourself a good restriction like that, it might not help. So right now, I am currently in the process of, I've only built so far They're not all Gunpla, because there was that one wave model, but they're all of inside Gundam. So we'll have to see. Oh, you're right, the cup noodle model. That definitely doesn't. Well, no, they were. Someone had to have eaten cup noodle in Gundam. I know that they really like to. They really love burgers and sandwiches, but that apparently has a lot to do with the cultural landscape in Japan at the time. Again, I highly recommend anyone who's interested in Gundam check out the. You know what, I'm going to check the name of the podcast right now before I get it wrong a second time. You know what? Actually, yeah, Mobile Suit Breakdown. That's the one. Check it out. Yes, Mobile Suit Breakdown does a really good job of really breaking down the series, but not the episodes are generally about an hour and a half in length, but it's not just two people talking about the show and what happens on the show. Most of it is actually good research done about Japanese culture and world culture and the influences that go into the Gundam at the time. It's kind of amazing. Okay, that's a big foot. Look at that. Big steppy. I showed feet, you must respond. I don't know. Are you sure? Have you seen the feet? Okay. G12 and K26. So let's get the K26 because we know where that is. It's on the K runner. And 27. So we'll need both of those. So let's just get them now. Burp. These are undergated as well. Burp. Give me back my blade. Ah, okay. I didn't quite get all the way through on that side. Let's. There we go. That's cut it out. And then the other one. Oh, Nash Lake, I am glad that you are aware of them. I don't want to make Tinker Tailors where I'm building Gunpla all about me talking about Gundam, but it's certainly, I'm not going to say no to it happening. But yeah, I have come around to the opinion that first Gundam is the best way to start Gundam, and the original, and it's worth watching in the television form rather than the compilation movies. I mean, you should watch them both, but I would recommend starting with the TV series. And the more I think about Zeta, the more I think about the fact that the new translation movies were not exactly what I wanted them to be. Okay, the undergates are only on the G12 and G13 side, which I believe are also going to be big old red pieces. That's C. Are these my G's? Good. Yay! The gates are beginning to tessellate. It's dangerous. Well, I'll just have to figure this out once we get it close to the assembly area. Again, Ian, stop trying to cut these gates in the air. Do it properly. Oh. Okay, and one from this side. And these are undergated, so we're going to need to get in there and cut from the bottom. Like thus. Oh, that's... Oh, there's just the slightest amount of lift there that I just want to shave off. Now that's smooth as butter. Good job, God Hands. Sometimes you just make a perfect cut, and that one was a perfect cut. All right, let's see if we can clean up the other one with as much alacrity. Well, that's not boding well. Oh wait, did we get it? We did. Other side, nice and smooth. And the last bit up the top. Perfection. Foot pieces. Good Lord. Love these kind of feet. All right, so you go down here. Wait, no, that's the wrong side. You go down here. Wait. There we go. Just the lightest touch-up. Here's one side. There is the other side. Oh, yes. Oh, they're coming out. Can't let that happen. Okay, now we need G5, which is quite possibly the largest ankle I have seen on a mobile suit this size yet. Oh, it's an undergated part, which is fine. That's good, because I'll have to clean up the undergate again. It's one piece. I'll have to use the knife to... There's another piece. Ooh. Just missed the edge there on that one. Okay. Just under. Good. Keep. There's a little bit of a catch there. Where's that one? Just perfect. And then the back end here, let's just get that nice and flat. And then slice off the excess. Knife. Good, good, good. All right. My favorite is the green one. Gunpla. This is Electrodyne. They are... The green ones are good ones. I think you're probably talking about the Zaku, but I can't honestly tell. Call Me Aras asks, hey Ian, does Corey... by the way, Corey is spelled with an I, but don't worry about it. You learned by hearing. Does Corey have any interest in the Figure-Rise Kamen Rider figures? They got an Ooh and a Ghost coming out soonish. I mean, she does enjoy the Kamen Riders. She was interested to find out that there are Kamen Rider model kits, plastic model kits that you can put together. But I don't know if she's into the figures. I'll have to ask her. She's definitely enjoyed some of the transformation materials, though, like the little balls and the belts and what's not. So this just goes in, just like this, with nothing else. Yep, okay. How hard do I press? Make sure you don't press hard. What you do is you very carefully examine where the holes are going to go, and then just push it in. Everything is pretty precision, so it should just go in place. Am I missing something here? Yes, I am. I have it backwards. That's why. There we go. Check that out. You got the little, I love those. The little side toes. Oh, call me Aras. I'm also looking back to see your notice about as a toy collector who has had to clean out a lot of dead people's houses. starting to seize collector stuff as something I need to not leave to someone else to clean up when I'm gone. Yeah, I have thought about that a lot recently as well. Yeah, so I just want to keep things that make me happy and try not to accumulate too much. And if there are things that I no longer enjoy, I need to get them out of my life and out of my house, because things are no longer allowed to live rent-free in my home. You got to be doing something, even if that's just providing me with entertainment and joy looking at it. Not King nor Abel, I appreciate you comparing me favorably with Marshall in that light. I'm kind of it's not kind of, I am curious about watch repair, but that is absolutely a hobby that is going to require an outlay of tools, time, and attention that I do not have ATM. So I'm keen to let others try it out for the moment while I play around with model making for a while. But that's not to say that's not something that might happen in the future. Mass Lost asks, Ian, did you watch Kamen Rider Build? I did not. And in fact, I didn't even finish watching, or even continue watching Ultraman Trigger. Because it didn't grab me the same way that Ultraman Z did. But that's not to say I'm done with Ultraman. There will be more Ultramans in the future, and I intend to check them out, because I really, 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 really enjoyed that one Ultraman series I did watch. Melody Dark says, my uncle repairs table and ship's clocks as a hobby. That's a good hobby. Daijobu Aras. It's not a common name with an I, and you hear people say it more than you see it typed, so, but I appreciate the recognition. Let me see here. Trigger's not been great. That's good to know that I'm looking at that. And Melody Dark says he's looking at getting a home furnace with custom brass casting. Ooh, that sounds a lot of fun. Ninja Puffed asks, hey Ian, for someone who is interested in getting a Gunpla kit, what grade do you think would be the good starting place? That is an easy question. That is the easiest question. The current Gunpla that I would recommend is the entry grade, which is exactly what it says. It is entry grade. And in fact, I think Target or Walmart, I mean, I avoid Walmart like the plague as much as you can, but Target, I believe, will carry it. And I know they'll have the RX-70, the standard Gundam in entry grade. They'll have the new Gundam, NU Gundam, the God, that was a terrible couple of weeks with COVID when they were thinking, oh, yeah, we'll call it the new variant. I'm like, don't mess with my namespace. But I believe in Ninja Puff, there's also Gunpla starter kits that will give you an entry grade model, a set of nippers, not the best set of nippers, but a set of nippers, and some sanding paper, I think a small cutting mat, and a couple of markers, including some panel lining markers. So it's a great way to just jump in for, I think, under $50. The entry model kits, I think, are within the they're under 25 too, I believe. And so that's just a great way to tell if you like doing the process. And again, like so many hobbies, you can get as deep as you want to. You can just you can grab a kitchen knife and hack those sprues out. In fact, actually, I think the entry grades, now that I think about it, don't require any sort of nippers at all. Yeah, Brownie Point says Wiggins nabbed his entry grade RX for $15 or $20 Canadian. They built them on Desert Bus, if I recall. And I think, yeah, you don't even need any nippers at all. They're just pull apart. But again, you can work your way up to something incredibly difficult. You can even use those, wow, Gundam Breaker entry model, yeah, at target.com. Yeah, grab that. Because that's the sort of model, it's the same process, it's the same materials that these things are made of. So you can just, you can start off playing around with the building. Then if you want to try, applying decals, you can just buy a decal sheet for $7 and start applying those to it, to make it a little bit prettier. You can pick up an airbrush, start playing around with airbrushing, either for painting or for finishing in terms of top coats. You can scribe the kits, you can repanel line them, you can kit bash them together. It's a really cheap way to get into the hobby, to see if it's something that you like, and then you can start dropping immense amounts of money in it. This is a leg, folks, and I believe that this is now, that's assembled. That's a chonker leg. Wow. Oh, I love it though. How far does the toe points down too, so you can get those nice aerial movements. Flat. Okay, I can't play with that too much. Leave that in shot. Okay, do we have... yeah, we've got time to do the other foot now, too, I think. Calmira says the SD kits are also extremely inexpensive and an easy way to get into them. I personally don't like the SD kits just because I'm not a fan of the SD aesthetic. But again, same deal, same plastic. You'll be able to play around with materials, see if you like putting it together, and then it's just get more. What I especially like about them too is that you get what is equivalent to the best action figure for this particular whatever that could be made, because you're assembling it yourself. K8. Where's my K8 at? On Runner K. 8, 25, 18. 25, 18, 8. Same connection. And push down and lift up. That's one down. Again, do it on the table, Ian. Yeah, there are so many different grades of Gunpla models available that you'll be able to find your sweet spot. Oh, but then you can get into the finishing of things. I recently found out about weathering packs, and that weathering used to be done by using makeup kits. That you would essentially just be using a foundation and blush box with different colors and the brushes to brush some of the smoke finishes on. Yeah. The one thing about Gunpla that it doesn't have is resale value for completed kits, which is fine. I am, at this point in my life, so done with peacocking about how much things cost and how much things are worth and how much one spends on something. It's exhausting and useless. So I have no interest in or no reason to want Gunpla to have a resale value for completed kits. Okay, last one for the foot piece. That said, I am aware of the some of the aftermarket costs of Lego sets, just because I am about to embark on a project of resorting my Lego into kits for resale. That's the thing. I as a kid, we would build the Lego set, and then within like 20 minutes, we'd have the whole thing torn apart for for parts for our own creations. And I look, it's not that I think that the Lego kits that are made today are bad. They're fantastic. They're beautiful. They're well designed. But there's something I miss about Lego being predominantly about making your own things, making your own toys out of things, and seeing, everyone I know who loves Lego just building pre-assembled kits and never making anything new with them, anything imagined with them. It makes me sad. It doesn't hurt me, but it does make me a little bit sad that's where the toy itself kind of found its niche in the 2020s. And I kind of wish that it was more focused on the open building things. Yeah, it's not a fault. Well, maybe it is. It's as much of a fault of Lego as it is a fault of the buyers. They produce the kits, and they produce the kits that people want to buy. So, chicken, egg, etc. But just once, it would be nice to log on onto Twitter and see a friend of mine saying, "Hey, I just took my my ex Lego set, or I just turned my DeLorean into a Ferrari F40. I think it looks better this way." Or check out this this sweet mobile suit that I've completely imagined out of nowhere, which is a thing people do. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that the Lego creation, the imagined Lego creation world is healthy. I mean, of course it's healthy. How else do you think you get all these kits being voted on as the next set on Bricklink? People have to be making these. That said, I just wish that was more of the primary story of Lego, rather than Lego just being a toy you can build. No, it's so much more than that. All right. Someone made a Lamborghini out of the Porsche 911 set, and I find that hilarious. Fastlane, that's the kind of stuff that's rad. Welcome to Old Man Wishes Lego were still the way he played it. You're playing with your Lego wrong. It's essentially what I'm saying right now, and I don't think I don't understand what's going on here. But I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, America. That seems to be a good analysis of the of how licensed kits come to be. Shiny Crochet says, to be honest, I feel like that with crochet in recent years, people are too scared to mess around and find out why X yarn or Y yarn is right for a project. Oof, that's rough, actually. To have people not being willing to experiment with their materials like that. I don't like it when hobbies become solved either. When there is a expected proper way of doing a thing. When the thing that you're doing is something creative and has multiple ways of getting not the desired outcome, because there is no desired outcome, because it's a creative process and it's a journey. But hey. That was the one. Good. one of the most popular recent sets was a bouquet of flowers. I've seen lots of people making their own custom flowers to fluff out the bunch. Mallory Dark, that's the kind of stuff I want to hear more about. One of my friends on Twitter has the bonsai set, bonsai tree, and they've been adjusting and customizing their bonsai tree to match whatever season it happens to be in. And I think that's great too. Highly seconding Brownie Point's recommendation of Keep Your Hands Off Azoken, which is, yeah, that was definitely a... God, it's a shame it happened so early in 2021, because I would absolutely call that my show of the year had Osama Ranking not shown up halfway through the year, or near the end of the year, rather. Yeah, Captain Clown, that's exactly. Paint by numbers hobbies have a place, but shouldn't negate creativity. It's like the spread of, I mean, coloring books. I never expected coloring books to become a thing that was going to be popular amongst adults, even before the pandemic, and here we are. Oh yeah, Calmiris. That's the creator sets with those particular styles of. Oopsie. Now here's a question for you. Actually, do they provide the instructions for the other two of the three creations, or are you left to figure it out yourself? Because that was one of my favorite things about the old Lego space sets. Is they would show you on the box other things that you could make with the same parts that were created in the box, but you didn't get instructions for them, which I thought was brilliant, because you could be inspired by these things in the box, but you had to play with the Lego. You had to understand how things fit together. You had to increase your sense of 3D spatial understanding to put these together. And of course, they would have never used this terminology, I'm sure, at the time to talk about that. But undergated, those are in place. Coming up on G5 and G16. Yeah, and you know what? I think we're going to call it a show after that. It's a little bit early, but it's going to leave us in a good spot, I think, before we have to deal with the groin of the Gundam. I mean, the mobile suit. All Gundams are mobile suits, but not all mobile suits are Gundams. I don't think there are any Gundams that are mobile armors, though, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure even the Psycho Gundam doesn't qualify as a mobile armor, despite its ridiculous size. Laundry Hall says, hold on, looking up. Y'all are the best, chat. I wouldn't want to be doing this with anybody else. Except maybe a panel of Yoshiyuki Tomino, Hideaki Anno, and God, I would love Kunihiko Ikuhara just to be around for fun, but honestly, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't build, he probably doesn't build Gunpla kits. But you know who I know does build model kits? Maybe not Gunpla, but definitely models in general. Our good friend Hayao Miyazaki. So, do you think if I call him friend of the show, Hayao Miyazaki, he'll come on at some point? Because that would make me happy. Oh, yes, the microscale builds. There was there was someone who was putting together a site that gave you artificial restrictions on microscale building, and I love that sort of thing. Whoop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I get too deep? Was I too greedy? No. Just a bit greedy, but not too much. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to give that a quick buff with the sanding rod. See what that does. There we go. That'll take care of that. And then, of course, that will just shave off the edge. And that's that foot. All right, one more piece. That is... No, because this one goes into the back. Right. So, can't see that there. And here we go. Boom, 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 boom. And there we have it. That's... Oh. I do like that you get just a bit of overhang on the armor panels before getting to the sole of the foot, I guess you could say. But that is... Let's insert that then. That is a foot. Foot. Actually, wait a second. Let's get this on the booth cam here, because we need to. Hey, MWGNZ says, caught a TTSF episode last year where Ian was working on a keyboard and thought, I bet I could do that. Long story short, I finished building my new keyboard earlier this week. Congratulations, MWGNZ. That is fantastic. I tip my cap to you and your put together keyboard. Sorry, I'm also looking at Mobile Frame Zero, and whoops, had not seen this before. God, I'm upset with some of the... There are only a few specialized pieces in some of those, but dang, I'm going to absolutely have a look at some of those. Folks, thank you so much for watching today as we get ourselves through this particular weird and wonderful build of a Gunpla. God, that's a huge and lovely keyboard. Congratulations and well done. Yeah, we've got the legs done now, so that's step one. Then we're going to get the rest of the thing built. Then we'll apply decals, and then we'll apply drills for the new thruster cones. Zanzibar, no, this is not the Re 100 kit. This is the HGUC 144 kit, the brand new one, and it's looking spectacular so far. Folks, if you like what you see here, you can check out more of what we do over at loadingreadyrun.com. Loadingreadyrun.com also includes a subdirectory called /live, where you'll have a link to our schedule. You can find out where all the shows are happening and what they're going to be doing stream-wise for upcoming weeks. You should go check that out, and you can even put it in your own calendar, should you wish to be notified in a way that's not Twitter-based. If you like what you see and you would like to give us money because you are feeling generous and you'd like to support the work that Loading Ready Run does, we have many opportunities for you to do that. First of all, you can go to store.loadingreadyrun.com and make Beej very happy by purchasing things that he facilitates the making of. But if you would prefer to just do so on one of our streaming services, we have several. youtube.com/loadingreadyrun is a place to be if you want to see our freemium content. You become a member there and ask us questions during our monthly Askler streams. I'm going to be on the next one, I think. So yeah, get your memberships in now if you want to be a part of that. If you don't like YouTube, or you just don't want to give money to YouTube, you can give money to Patreon and also money to us. A certain amount goes to them for processing fees, but patreon.com/loadingreadyrun is the place to be where you can keep the lights on and contribute there. If you would like to not work with Patreon and instead would like to give your money directly to us via twitch.tv, you can do so here at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. Bits and subs. Man, bits and subs. We love them. We love each and every one of the bits and subs, and we love you for giving them to us. ND Kazi says, when do you plan to work on this kit again? Probably next month. 2 weeks from now, we've got something else on the docket, so probably early in, oh God, February. Time marches on, doesn't it? Twitch. Bits and subs. Oh yeah, and if you've got one of them, there are Amazon Prime accounts. You can give us your free subscription. You get a free subscription. You can give it to anyone you want, but we would like you to give it to us, is what we say when we are streaming on the Mothership channel. We all have home streams too, but didn't say anything about that. Finally, we need to thank those of you who have shown your generosity to us today here on the stream, and I want to start with I think Lurker Spine is the first one for this stream, who has been here for 81 months. Thank you so much, Lurker Spine, for those continued months of support. Ooh, too much saliva in that mouth. Mr. Dirty is a 54-month subscriber. Thank you so much for your continued support. Dark Morford, 93 months. Always a treat to see plastic attaching to other plastic through the power of friction. Thank you so much, Dark Morford. ND Kazi subscribing for 58 months. Confirmation that Ian has the hands of God. And I need to stop playing with them, because if the more you play with them, the more you'll dull them. And nobody wants that, except perhaps the God Hand Corporation, because I'm sure they would like to sell me another pair. Hydra Lord 92 subscribed for 46 months, saying tiny giant robots. There are. Yeah, it's bigger than I thought, and it's going to get bigger than before. Nash Lake is a 55-month subscriber. Thank you for your continued support, Nash Lake. I want to thank Bruce C for 45 months of subscription. Yay, Toothache got me up building Necrons. Always cool to catch a live stream. Happy to have you here, and I hope the Necron army is coming together nicely. Nambra has been here for 59 months. Thank you for your continued support, Nambra. Thank you also to Railroad Tycoon 2 for 61 months of subscription, the usual song and big-footed dance. Yes, it's always important to give the potato dance with your newly constructed legs. And Mungo Dude dropping 100 bits on the channel. Thank you so much for those bits. Coming up is something that you can find out on twitch.tv/ loadingreadyrun.com/live. Thank you, autocorrect. Said thing is going to be Play It Forward at 9:30 in the morning, and then of course Magic the Gathering happens in the evening starting at 5 p.m. Folks, thank you so much for watching tonight. We'll be back with more of this model, as I said, in February, and we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry fun and maybe education? No. In a fortnight. Never in Fortnite. Never forget that. Until then, as we have come to say, ever forward, learning out of spite. Good night.